You know, I only have one question heading into this week. How is no one on a bye? No, seriously. How did that happen? What's going on, guys? Stick Support here, back to another video. Today we are talking about Week 8. Can you believe it? The season's almost halfway over. Where has the time gone? In that time, we've seen surprises, what's to be expected, and just the unusual. What does this week bring us? Alright, our Thursday night matchup is going to be between the Vikings and the Rams. Rams picked up a win. Vikings suffered their first loss against the Detroit Lions. Well, that had to happen eventually. As for this week, I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. I say they bounce back, and really, the Rams, they've suffered through a lot of injuries already this year. It's been rough for them. Baltimore's traveling to Cleveland. For Cleveland, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Deshaun Watson, torn Achilles, done for the season. Horrible trade. Fans cheered. Looks like Jameis Winston is starting. Ravens secondary is the weakest part of their team, have given up big plays. Winston has a big arm, even without Amari Cooper. That could lead to some big plays. Yeah, that pretty much sums up this game. And as for the Ravens, their offense is on fire. Alright, their offense is on fire, and it seems like the only thing that can stop the Ravens is themselves. And this just seems like a game where it's a letdown. I mean, 5 straight wins. Again, it just seems like a letdown for the Ravens. I'm going to go with the Browns. Tennessee taking on the Lions. For Tennessee, Will Levis, will he play or will he not? Not sure. For the Lions, Jameson Williams could possibly face a 2-game suspension. What is going on with this guy? Seriously. Is he ever going to play a full season where he's not injured or suspended? I don't know. Give me the Lions. Indianapolis taking on Houston. Indianapolis, I don't know what they are. I really don't. This is the definition of an up-and-down team. And meanwhile, for Houston, C.J. Stroud had the worst game of his young NFL career last week. He only passed for 86 yards, and the Texans lost on a last-second field goal by the Packers. I'm going to go Houston. I say they bounce back. Green Bay taking on Jacksonville. Jacksonville picked up a win last week in London. At least they won one of those games. Green Bay, I just mentioned, won against the Texans. I'd say they pick up a win against another AFC South team because Jacksonville, even though they picked up that win, they're still not a great team this year. Arizona taking on Miami. For Miami, Tua might be back. We're still in wait-and-see mode, but there's still a question of how good Miami's going to be, even with him on the field. Arizona, that was a good win on Monday night against the Chargers. Held them to field goals, and they got a field goal at the end of the game to win it. Yeah, not bad. I'm going to go with them over the Dolphins. Jets taking on New England. These teams have already played each other once this year. The Jets won that matchup. On Sunday night, it was not good for the Jets. It really wasn't. They had the lead at one point, and then the Steelers ran away with it. As for New England, yeah, there's a lot that they need to do to get back to being playoff contenders. I'm going to go Jets. Atlanta taking on Tampa Bay. Both these teams suffered a loss last week. Atlanta suffered a home loss to Seattle, and the Buccaneers suffered a home loss to the Ravens on Monday night. Worst thing for them, Chris Godwin out for the season. Mike Evans is going to be out until the bye at the earliest. Oh, man. What is going on with all these injuries this year? I swear, every week. Even without their top 2 targets, I'm still going to go Tampa Bay, even without. I just have this feeling. Philadelphia taking on Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they've won 2 in a row, but now you're facing off against an Eagles team that, again, very talented and very good, especially after Saquon Barkley rushed for the yards that he did in his return to the Meadowlands. Wow, okay, that was an amazing performance by Saquon. All right, 176 yards on only 17 carries. That was pretty amazing. It truly was. I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Bengals. New Orleans taking on the Chargers. For the Chargers, they were held without a touchdown. New Orleans taking on the Chargers. For the Chargers, they were held to 5 field goals against the Cardinals, and that was the difference in the game. If one of those was a touchdown, they win that game. Plain and simple. Meanwhile, for the Saints, after a 2-0 start, hasn't been pretty for them. It really hasn't. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Buffalo taking on Seattle. For Buffalo, They're right on track. Buffalo taking on Seattle. For Buffalo, there's not much more I need to say about this team. Josh Allen playing amazing. They look like a very good... Buffalo taking on Seattle. For Buffalo, what more do I have to say? They had a slow start against Tennessee and then just ran away with the game. They still won 34-10. Seattle got back in the win column. It was a nice win that they picked up against the Falcons. They're back home where it is tough to play in their stadium because of the 12th man. However, I think Buffalo overcomes that. Give me the Bills. Chicago taking on Washington. Washington, Jane Daniels got a little banged up against the Panthers. I think it was more precaution that he was held out for the rest of the game. I think he'll be okay. Probably going to play, but we're in a little bit of wait and see on that. Chicago, they're coming off a bye. And really, this is a prove-it game for both of these teams. Yeah, they both have winning records, but they haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet. And this is the first chance to do it. I'm going to go with Washington over the Bears. Carolina taking on Denver. For Denver, they're coming off of 10 days of rest, and there's a formula for them right now. Take the pressure off of Bo Nix, control the game. That's what they've done, and that's how they've been winning their games. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's like beating a dead horse at this point. I mean, there's not much more that I can say about the Panthers that's not going to be redundant and what everybody else has said. It's just been a rough year for them. Give me the Broncos. Kansas City taking on Las Vegas. For the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell is now hurt. Probably going back to Gardner Minshew. This has just not been a good year for the Raiders at all. We knew there was a lot of questions going into the season, particularly at quarterback. Unfortunately, we were proven right. Kansas City, the only undefeated team left, and really, when you look at that schedule, I don't know how many teams can really beat the Chiefs. They might finish 17-0. I don't know who's going to beat them. I don't see a loss on this schedule. I just don't. Give me the Chiefs. Dallas taking on San Francisco. San Francisco. Why are they getting hit with so many injuries? Deebo Samuel in the hospital with pneumonia. Brandon Ayuk, torn ACL, MCL, out for the season on top of every other injury that they have. Seriously, they've been decimated. Dallas, they're just not good. It's plain as that. They are just not a good team this year. Yeah, they're coming off a bye, which helps, but I'm still going to go San Francisco. Okay, our last game, the Monday night game, Giants taking on the Steelers. For the Steelers, I think everybody was ready to rip the Steelers a new one when they decided to replace Justin Fields with Russell Wilson, but after 1 week, it looks like it was the right decision. I mean, Russell Wilson and the Steelers just put on an offensive show on Sunday night. And now they're playing Monday night against the Giants team that has not been that good. That's the nice way I can put it. Give me the Steelers. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on Week 8. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.